In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, to whom we all have to turn back. Honourable listeners and respectable audience, you know that we have started a series of linguistics. In linguistics, we talk about phonology. That phonology, it is the study of organization of sounds. That how sounds, they are organized and structured. Listeners and audience, today, the topic which I have brought for you, it is about stress. Stress is actually the degree of emphasis which is given to a sound or a syllable in a word. Listeners and audience, whenever we are speaking, we are interacting, we are communicating and conveying a message to others. There are certain words which are stressed and there are certain syllables which are unstressed. So some syllables are stressed in words and some syllables they are unstressed. And there are also other types of words in which we have primary stress and secondary stress. So be with me and listen to this lecture from beginning until end. As I told you at the beginning of this lecture, the stress is the emphasis or the degree of emphasis which is given to a sound or a syllable in a word. What is the importance of stress? Listeners and audience, stress is very important. The first importance of stress is that it helps you to understand the meaning of a word correctly. And it also provides emphasis to certain parts of the word. And it also important because it distinguishes and differentiates one word from another. Let me share a few examples with you that you know the importance of stress as well as the clarification of and the interpretation of stress well. Take the example of two words, present and present. Listeners and audience, you see these are two words. They are similar, they are identical and spellings. However, they are different when we are talking about stress to some of syllables. For example, if I use this word as a noun, then the stress would be to the first syllable. But if I'm using this word as a verb, then stress or emphasis would be to the second syllable. For example, if I say present, so present and present. So when I say present, so it is a noun, but if I say present, it is a verb. So I think it will be very clear when I try to use them in sentences. For example, if I say, I presented a lecture. Here the stress is to the next syllable. The emphasis is given to the next syllable, present, this one. Presented. Okay, and it is verb. But if I say, he handed over a present to me, a present to me. So here the stress is over the first syllable. Listeners and audience, there are certain words which have two syllables, more than two syllables, three syllables, so monosyllabic words, polysyllabic words, etc. So when we have two words and when we have a word which has two syllables, then one syllable is stressed and another syllable is unstressed. So the syllable which is stressed that is known as stressed syllable. And the syllable which is not stressed and the word, that is known as what kind of syllable? Unstressed. In other words, a part of a word which is not given emphasis, that is known as unstressed syllable. A part of a word which is given emphasis, that is known as stressed syllable. For example, I am writing a word ahead. Ahead. I wrote a bit separately. You know, this is a word ahead. So how many syllables are there? Ahead. Ahead. Two syllables are there. One is a, another is had. So listeners and audience, here in these two syllables, one syllable is stressed, which is head, and another is not stressed, that is a head, a head. So that's why this one is known as stressed syllable. And this one which is O, it is known as unstressed syllable. Okay. Let me give another example. Take the example of a mandate. A mandate. How many syllables are there? A, one, man, two, and jet, three. A mandate. So, a, man, jet. A man. So here the stress is what? How many syllables are there? Three. So listeners and audience, you see, here we see three words. But in these three words, only the man, which is stressed, a man, and O and dead, it is unstressed. So we can say that two unstressed syllables and one is stressed, which is man. Okay. On the other hand, we have two other types of stress, which is primary stress and secondary. Primary stress and secondary stress. Listeners and audience, primary stress is a stress in which the emphasis is given very strongly, and secondary stress is a stress in which the emphasis is given in a strong way but less than is compared to the first one. So what is the difference now? In primary stress, the stress is given, the emphasis is given to a part of a word very strongly. And secondary stress, the stress is also given, the emphasis is also given to the part of a word, but less than is compared to the first one, is compared to the primary one. For example, if I say examination or organization, organization. So here you see organization. How many syllables are there? Organization. 4 syllables are there. So here we see the primary syllable. We see primary syllable and the 4th syllable. Primary syllable. Because here the stress is given. Organization. And this is known as secondary or secondary syllable. So secondary syllable or secondary stress, I should write stress. Primary stress and secondary stress. Okay. So primary stress, when the stress is given, strongly. And secondary stress, when a stress is given to the part of a word strongly, but less than is compared to the primary stress. So here in organization, so or is the secondary stress and Z, organization, it is the primary stress. Listeners and audience, there are some words which we call word level. It means that stress can be in word level. One example just I am presenting. He records the record of class. Just an example. Or he records. See now, here in this sentence, one is a verb, one has been used as a verb, and another has been used as a noun. For example, if I say, he records the record of the class. But let me identify stress. He records the record of the class. He records the record of the class. So here the stress is on the next syllable, record. He record the record of the class, the record. So the stress will be on the past syllable. Here in word, next syllable, and in a noun, the first syllable. So there are certain words they use as a noun as well as a verb as well. So when certain words are used as a noun and as a verb, so mostly the syllable will be on the next portion if it is used as a verb, but the stress would be used as a past syllable if we are talking about them as a nouns. For example, take the example of rebel. He rebelled. So is a verb. But if I say rebel. So here the stress is where the past syllable is a noun. Other examples are also there. Outlaw, etc. Outlaw. So listeners and audience, I think this topic is clear to you. Thank you.